Bonnie Wright's 10-year stint as the world's favorite wizard kid sister turned her into a plastic-hating, theater-loving mother. Sometimes growing up can be a magical thing. Bonnie Wright started casting her spell on the big screen in 2001's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, appearing as Ginny Weasley, as her older brothers and Harry board the Hogwarts Express. She joins them at Hogwarts a year later in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which finds her being controlled by Tom Riddle, later revealed to be a younger version of Lord Voldemort. Ginny is briefly spotted in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Her character becomes a steady presence as she builds her relationship with Harry. Wright also noted that her one line in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone wasn't added until they went to film the train station scene that helps catapult Harry into his first wizarding adventure. The completed scene shows Ginny wishing Harry well, a suggestion made by director Chris Columbus.
Walk straight at the wall between platforms 9 and 10. Best do it at a bit of a run if you're nervous. Good luck.
Wright, like most of the cast, grew up on the Harry Potter set, and as she became a young woman, so did Ginny. In The Order of the Phoenix, she joins the group at the Department of Mysteries, where Harry learns about the prophecy that sets him against Voldemort, and she gets to show her tough side by using an impressive Reducto spell against the Death Eaters pursuing them. Wright's role is greatly expanded in The Half-Blood Prince, getting just as much screen time as she did in the second film. She now plays a confident young woman who has friends, a boyfriend, and a place in the Slug Club. Probably her most vital role in the film is her relationship with Daniel Radcliffe's character. After years of crushing on Harry, the Chosen One finally realizes his feelings, and the two begin to date. She comforts Harry after Dumbledore's death, fights in the Battle of Hogwarts, and watches her own children head to her alma mater. After Harry Potter, Wright appeared in various independent films, including 3 in 2013. She played Rose in The Sea, based on the novel by John Banville. It features a man's return to his childhood beach following the death of his wife. She then played Georgina, an orthopedic surgeon participating in a what-if scenario to gain entrance to a bunker in the case of an atomic apocalypse, in the sci-fi psychological thriller After the Dark. The film was nominated for Best Motion Picture at the Sitges Film Festival, known as the world's top fantasy film festival. Wright's final role in 2013 was as Phoebe in Before I Sleep. The movie, which follows a reclusive poet on his search for peace, premiered at the Heartland Film Festival. In addition to being an actor, Wright has also tried her hand at directing. In 2012, she made her directorial debut with the student film Separate We Come, Separate We Go, which follows a 10-year-old girl meeting and becoming friends with a widowed man, premiering at the Cannes Film Festival and at the Gold Coast International Film Festival. The 12-minute film was well received. She also has directed the short films Know Thyself, Fade to Gold, and Medusa's Ankles. Wright even has some music videos under her belt, the first of which being CS by George Schuster. She continued directing music videos in 2018 with Taught You How to Feel by Sophie Lowe, Iguana Bird by Pete Yorn and Scarlett Johansson, and Fallible by Maguire. Her next directing project, Melt, was also for Maguire and was released in 2021. Wright is an active spokesperson for environmentalism, especially when it comes to plastic. She has raised awareness about the dangers of plastic pollution, encouraging fans and friends to stop relying on single-use plastic. She joined Greenpeace in 2017 to highlight how single-use plastic has negatively affected our oceans and wildlife, and the importance of beach cleanups.
I was really saddened to find how much plastic we found just in that, small, an hour's worth of trawling.
She participated in the fight against the Coca-Cola Company, one of the worst producers of plastic pollution, according to Greenpeace. To stop the production of billions of plastic bottles, Wright said, "I'm happy to stand with the more than 585,000 people who are calling on Coke to phase out its use of throwaway plastic bottles." Wright continues to fight for a cleaner Earth through social media by promoting recycled products, showing the beauty of nature and encouraging followers to take action. In April 2022, Wright added author to her list of job titles, releasing Go Gently, Actionable Steps to Nurture Yourself and the Planet. Wright shares sustainable practices that readers can regularly practice at home, and those tips and tricks have now become the inspiration for a television series. Wright shared the news that she would be creating a new show on the Go Gently website in May 2019. She wrote the production wrapped in April 2023. She wrote while sharing photos of her team surrounded by nature. "It was such an incredible adventure through California and Oregon, traversing so many different landscapes, meeting up with so many incredible humans, doing powerful work to protect our planet." As of October 20 2023. A premiere date has not been announced. For those who can't wait for Wright's episodic documentary to premiere, she does share ways to practice sustainability via Instagram and YouTube. In 2013, Wright made her theater debut, sharing her acting talents in the play The Moment of Truth, which focuses on a government that is facing doom as war is on the horizon. The 2013 production marked the first time that the play had been performed in London since 1951. Wright played the role of the girl during the show's 4-week summer run at the Southwark Playhouse in London. She told What's on Stage that she in no way resembles her character, which is why she enjoyed playing the part. And apparently theater is something that she has always wanted to explore. She said that she felt like she was trying to navigate an ocean during the first few days of rehearsals, adding, "But I am loving every moment of the challenge. Every day I feel like I am evolving in some way." Amid her successful acting career and push to protect the planet, Wright is growing her family. In April 2023, she and her husband, Andrew Lococo, announced that they were expecting their first child by posting a photo of the couple on Wright's Instagram. She wrote in the post, "What a wild and humbling journey pregnancy is, transforming to make space for new life." She has since been chronicling parts of her pregnancy on the social media site and posted videos to her YouTube channel discussing nesting and how to keep Earth in mind when it comes to newborn essentials. In an interview with Brides, Wright explained that she and Lococo met at a New Year's Eve party in 2018 and got engaged in September 2021 with a ring designed by her parents, Gary Wright and Sheila Teague, who created the jewelry company Wright & Teague. Wright and Lococo tied the knot on March 19, 2022, at a California farm owned by friends. They focused on using sustainable materials for the wedding and made a lot of items themselves. She said, "We loved the idea of being surrounded by bountiful growing, nourishing plants, as we said we do." The Wizarding World story has since continued on stage in the play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which follows the Potter and Weasley children as they navigate schoolwork and evil, leading Harry and his friends to band together to protect their families. The play first premiered on London's West End in 2016 and headed to Broadway's Lyric Theatre in April 2018. Many have wondered if the play will ever get the big screen treatment. Wright told the Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum podcast that she is interested in reprising her role in a film adaptation if the opportunity ever presents itself, noting that she is currently unaware of such a project being in the works.
It's not about our characters, so it wouldn't be a massive role. So it would be fun. But I have no idea if they'll do it.
Years after the final Harry Potter film, Wright continues to connect with fans of the franchise. In 2022, she appeared on the Max TV special, Harry Potter 20th Anniversary, Return to Hogwarts, taking a walk down memory lane with other cast members.
To actually get us all in one place was a feat.
She also stopped by the updated Warner Brothers Studio Tour Hollywood during a pre-opening visit in 2021, exploring the Wizarding World. She said while walking through the magical attraction, "I was like, we were small, we were tiny, we were babies. It was a big revelation." Wright has also taken to social media to share her perspective on Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, amid the controversy surrounding Rowling's comments against the transgender community. In 2020, she wrote on X, "If Harry Potter was a source of love and belonging for you, that love is infinite and there to take without judgment or question. Trans women are women. I see and love you, Bonnie." She told The Times in 2022, "I made that comment then and I still stand with that same feeling, but it's got to the point where I prefer not to comment more. It's subject outside of my input." While the movies may be over, Bonnie Wright is still writing this chapter of her career, continuing to work on different Wizarding World projects. According to the Wizarding World website, Wright is just one of several big names who lent their voices to the audiobook version of The Tales of Beedle the Bard, which is a book made up of 5 fairy tales. The audiobook was released on Audible in March 2020. While working on the films, Wright also voiced her character in the video game adaptations of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. She's also been to the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey attraction at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios, Florida. In 2014, she took a tour of the park's Diagon Alley with James and Oliver Phelps, who played Fred and George Weasley. The trio were given a look at all of the magic that fans can explore in a video posted to the Universal Orlando Resort YouTube channel.